correct stance. One of the most important aspects in billiards to make your body relaxed, which in next step affects your feeling at the table and your stroke quality. Every pool player makes a different stance due to his individual preferences, but many times when you enter your local pool hall, then you can see this. Never mind. It doesn't look good. So in this case, I'm going to show you 6 very important tips and techniques what you should and you shouldn't do to make your stance comfortable with very nice feeling. I'm sure that this video will be a great learning experience, so if you want to develop perfect stance at the table, then before we start, please make sure to leave a thumbs up for me and hit the subscribe button to never miss my all new video productions. Action! This video will be divided into 2 parts where I will discuss position of our lower and upper body elements separately. And first of all, we need to talk about position of our legs. Where and how should our legs be positioned? Before we start our considerations, we should find our shooting line, which will determine our starting point. Shooting line is always placed between the cue ball and ghost ball, and if we extend this line onto the floor, then we can see our starting point. In the first step, we need to put our back leg on this shooting line, and to determine this leg, we need to know which hand we are using to hold our cue. So if we are right-handed, then we need to use our right leg, and if we are left-handed, then we need to use our left leg. In the next step, you should put your second leg forward slightly to the outside, and then we can freely position the rest of our body at the table. We should avoid to put our second leg on the same line where is our back leg, because this will significantly decrease our body stability. You need to remember to not put your legs too close together or very wide, because this will once again impact your body stability. Another common mistake that I can see among beginners is placing back leg in front. Was this huge mistake, because then our grip hand is completely locked and we are not able to make correct stroke. And you should avoid to put your back leg out of this line, as this behavior will make your stance very tense and your arm will have very limited space to create correct cue action. And very important is to find correct distance from the cue ball where we need to put our legs, because if we put them too close or too far, then our stance will be very unstable. In perfect scenario, you should place your back leg in such a way that your grip is placed next to your hip, because with this position you will be able to create comfortable cue action. Okay, so if we know where and how to put our legs, then we need to move forward to look at position of our feet. And this is another underrated aspect and in most cases can significantly affect your feeling at the table. If you manage to determine correct place to put your back leg on the shooting line, then your foot should be aligned correctly in relation to this line. If you put your right foot parallel to this line, then you will feel a lot of tension in your back leg. Same situation will be if we adjust our foot perpendicularly to this line. To avoid these problems, we should position our foot at an angle of about 45 degrees, as this will make your back leg very relaxed with comfortable feeling. Same situation will be with our second foot, but this time we need to place it parallel to the shooting line. So if we increase the angle to the outside or inside, then we will feel very uncomfortable tension in that leg again. To end our considerations about our lower body, we need to look closer at position of our knees. And this is another must-know thing which can highly affect your stability and final feeling at the table. The first very important key is to straighten your back leg. This is a very important thing because if we bend this leg at the knee, then we don't feel very good and our stability suffers. But on the other hand, if we look closer on position of our second knee, then we should do exactly the opposite of what we did before with our back leg. So we should slightly bend this leg at the knee, because if we straighten it, then our whole leg will be very tense and we can feel pain, which will be very uncomfortable. And same thing will happen if we bend our back leg while our second leg will be straightened. Very uncomfortable and unstable position. So if you will be able to connect these three aspects and put your legs, feet and knees in correct way, then I'm sure that your final feeling at the table will be very positive. Okay, so now it's time to move forward to the second part of this video to discover the most important aspects of your upper body. And first of all, we need to look closer at position of our grip. This is a very important aspect and in most cases can highly affect your final stroke quality. If we have positioned our body at the table and we hold our cue, then our grip should be located in correct place. To find perfect point on our cue, we need to check in what position our forearm creates the right angle with our cue when the cue tip touches the cue ball. And this is perfect place for our grip and will significantly help you to produce best possible cue action during backward and forward movements of your cue stick. We should avoid to hold our cue too early or too far, because it will highly affect stability of your cue action and your final stroke will be very inaccurate. But if we look at our grip from the back, then we should avoid to curve it to the inside or outside, because once again our cue action suffers and we are not able to hit the cue ball accurately. The perfect case assumes that our grip should be located parallel on the same line in relation to our forearm, and this position will open a very high opportunity to make correct stroke. But there is another aspect which is very important, so in this case we need to look closer at position of our elbow. Our elbow is responsible for making correct backswing and timing of the shot, and if we set it in the wrong way, then we may have problems to produce straight cue action. So if we look again from the back, then we can see that in the ideal case our elbows should form one straight line with our grip, and our forearm should be located perpendicularly in relation with table surface. And this is extremely important because if we tilt our elbow to the inside or outside, then once again it will be difficult to make correct and straight cue action, what in next step will affect our stroke accuracy. And finally, there is one more aspect that we need to talk about. Position of our bridge. And actually this will be a very hard thing to explain for me because I don't have my bridge hand, what forces me to use a very original tool to support my cue. So it will be impossible to explain what you should do with your fingers, but I will try my best to explain you all important things about length of your bridge. And this is another extremely important aspect because it is responsible for correct motion of your cue during executing different kind of shots. In ideal case, our bridge should be around 8 inches and this length we can use practically in most cases. But sometimes we should lengthen it up to 12 inches if we execute long draw shots. And we should avoid to shorten our bridge too much, up to 4 inches, because this length will make your backswing inaccurate, which in next step can affect your final stroke quality. Same thing will happen if we lengthen our bridge too much, up to 15 inches or more, because then our cue action is very unstable and there is very high chance that we can hit the cue ball with unintended spin, which in next step can cause mistakes. But if we talk about position of our bridge, then we should avoid to elevate our cue too high, because if you apply unintended side spin, then cue ball will curve, what result with wrong contact with object ball. But above all, if you elevate your cue stick up, then your wall stance changes, and this may have negative impact on your body's stability. So we should always hold our cue as low as possible to avoid unexpected outcomes. As you could see, these 6 aspects are very important if you want to perform perfect and comfortable stance at the table, and I'm sure that you need to pay more attention during your practice sessions to your stance. Anyway, if you found this lesson helpful and you appreciate the quality of my content, then don't forget to leave a thumbs up for me and hit the subscribe button to never miss my new video productions. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Take care.